The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, UNU Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
No! I'm going down to Alphabet Street. I'm gonna crown this girl that I meet. I'm gonna talk.
Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday night, already the middle of August. Not August, I'm kidding. November. Wishing it was August. Lord, it is like 8 degrees in Minneapolis. Jimmy, are you there?
I'm here.
How cold is it where you're at?
It's just around freezing.
Yeah, so it was 8 degrees this morning. But that's why I said August. I just wanted to wishful think it, but it didn't work. But it is ridiculous. We have snow. We have had, I think one night last week, we had like 175 accidents because everybody always forgets how to drive in it. But it's the F word. So one of my F words is snow. It's a 4-letter word that I don't like to say. But my special guest tonight was unable to make it. But you know what? I have a lot to talk about. So, first of all, Veterans Day, we just celebrated it. Veterans Day, November 11th, was actually my brother's birthday also. And my brother was born to two of my favorite veterans, my mom and my dad. And my brother and I, literally just the week before last, went to Washington, D.C., where my parents met. My dad guarded the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, and my mom was a whack. Me, I'm just wacky. But my mom was in the Women's Army Corps, and they met at Arlington Cemetery when my dad was guarding the tomb. I've had them on the show. They talked about how they met. But to go there and to see it through their eyes and go into the guards' quarters and see all the detail and everything that goes into what they do to protect and honor the men who protected and honored us, and they gave everything, even more so than anybody else, because they gave up their identity. That's why it's the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. And there's so many men and women out there that I think sometimes we take it for granted, our freedoms. That's one of the F words that I wanted to talk about tonight, was freedom. Because being out there in our nation's capital, and I don't care what anybody's politics is. That's why I never talk politics. All I care about is that we're all Americans, or we're French, or we're Canadian. We're all human beings, and we all should just be good to people. But the thing that I noticed when I was in Washington, D.C., I didn't notice anybody being political. Or maybe I didn't see that much. I was there for 4 days. But I just saw people really enjoying the history of the United States. And going through what we did at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, it was a Tomb Guard reunion, actually. I want to say there was close to 200 people there. My dad is badge number 21. And seeing how everybody really respected him when he said his badge number, it was really cool. So if people don't realize that, a 21-gun salute, 21 steps, 21 seconds, it's all very indicative of the highest honor that you can bestow in the military. But going there and seeing these men still having that honor, still looking at the tomb, they did the wreath laying ceremony. They did a rose laying ceremony. My dad was honored. He was made honorary sergeant. What was it? Sergeant of the Guard. Honorary Sergeant of the Guard. Oh man, it was really emotional. My brother and I got to see that. My dad's 80. Guys, thank a veteran. I'm so upset by a conversation that I had with somebody the last couple of days that's why I'm kind of stuttering a little bit, because I'm pulling up some of these texts and messages. that have me kind of steamed. Jimmy, now you told me just a little bit before the show started that you tried to join the military, right?
Yeah, I did in the body there.
And when was it? I'm sorry.
Back in the 70s.
Back in the 70s.
Yeah, they couldn't go in with flunk because he had flat feet.
They wouldn't let you go. But see, you know what? That's the thing. I mean, only 1% of the nation actually willingly joins. My son is one of them. My ex-husband, both my parents. I mean, several, aunts, uncles, all of that. But it's a special breed of people that go there and lay down their lives or give up their time away from their families to do this. So I was looking at somebody's post on Veterans Day, and I don't care about the politics, don't care about it at all. But one thing I noticed was this person slamming our president, saying he has no knowledge of history, nor does he care. He has no knowledge of our military's purpose, nor does he care. He's disrespected military veterans and their families too many times to list. And what the actual article that he put out there was how the president decided to cancel, or not the president, the White House decided to cancel veteran cemetery visit in France. And all I did, Jimmy, was comment and said, who cares what the president's up to? That's not what this day is about honoring veterans, so let's just honor them and forget about that. That's all I wanted to do, and this person just kind of went off on me a little bit, and I said, and I included a picture of all of these tomb guards. My dad is 80. There's a man 89 years old, Medal of Honor recipient. All these guys there, I put a picture out there. These men all guarded the tomb. This is who we honor. And they're honoring everybody else. That's all we have to worry about. Today, every day. That's it. He got me so riled up. He said, "Oh, your dad served. Good for him." Blah, 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 blah. And that started the rest of it. And I had my comments out there, and then I just decided I'm going to delete them because I didn't want a picture of all these fine men on this person's feed. Is exactly what it was. I just said, you know what? I'm going to take it all off. I was very disturbed by his comments, and he turned it all into Black history. And it was literally talking about the soldiers that were Black being forgotten. Another comment, it's funny when you have people who want to tell you who and what to respect and how and when you should do it. And I'm reading this, remember. Speaking for myself, no one will ever do that for me. I alone determine who and what I respect and what I want to express and when. My respect today is for all of my friends, my family, who decide to give of themselves and serve. They don't need a day out of the year to be acknowledged. They deserve that every day. This is for the forgotten Black American military personnel whose contributions don't get remembered, whose deaths don't get rewarded, who are not acknowledged beyond their own, what you don't get taught in school or shown on TV or in the movies. During the Civil War, white morale was cited as a cause for not letting Black soldiers be armed. Okay, and it goes into all that, but I was like, oh my gosh, it was not about that. It's just veterans. And he literally, this is such a long one, I don't even want to read it. But if he says, if you can't understand and respect this, I'm sorry for you. It's not for you. It's for those that can understand back to the reality and the untaught history. I never, ever, ever said anything about anybody's color. I was talking about veterans. And let's see, there's another one on here, you guys, where literally educate yourselves on the struggle of those of our community that chose to serve in hopes of gaining a better life and being something more for their community. I give all the respect in the world to my peers who, despite this heated their passion to serve. Their experience speaks to a larger story that goes unrecognized and unheard, but they are the real heroes in our community. And I haven't, he unfriended me, but in his messages, personally to me, so crazy to me, that he would say things. I was very heated earlier today, so I've had a chance to calm down. But like I said, what started it was good for him. But he was putting things out there on his page that was just pretty much, and that's fine. You can honor whoever you want. My family, everybody else, they've all defended the right to have our own opinions. But what he's ended up saying here is that, I'll go further because I'm so upset. Okay. I gave him a picture of my son, another soldier. My son is white, his friend is black. And I asked him, I said, would you only respect one of these two? It seems to me from your comments that the only military men or women that you said you would respect or honor are black. I'm curious because I just want to try to understand this. And try to understand what you're talking about. And he says, let me pose this question to you. Let's see you think about this. Why are you concerned about who I choose to acknowledge? The fact that I choose to acknowledge my community has nothing whatsoever to do with anyone else's. And I'm not asking about your community. I'm asking based on our conversation alone. And funny, every time I ever ask you a question, it's always answered with a question instead of an answer. Just the fact that you would even read anything I've expressed and make it about you or some other community just underscores my point. And that's why you don't fully understand what I'm expressing. Why I'm doing it, he said. Oh my gosh, you guys. Anyway, I'm just looking through some of this. You asked me a question. I'm going to let you know it offends me, he said, to be honest with you. And I took the time to tell you why. That's my answer to your question. Can't respect what I'm saying, you or me expressing my thoughts and my feelings, then we don't need to have a conversation. I'm not going to acknowledge anything or anyone, not acknowledge my community first. I'm not going to acknowledge anything or anyone and not acknowledge my community first. Sorry, okay. What's got me so upset? Sorry, why don't you do something with your privilege? Educate those that have no idea of any of that history or information along what we all get taught of your history and your accomplishments. Or is that too hard for you to do, Kathy? It's easy for you to sit there and ask questions that when you don't have to think about your own actions. Jimmy, when you hear privilege, I'm like going, wait, so what's he saying? He's talking white privilege? I'm like, oh my gosh, trying to honor our veterans. He's trying to make it sound like me asking him this because he's saying, he's only going to honor. I mean, he literally came out and said it in another stream of messages that he's only going to honor those in his community that are his peers. I'm like, really? So you don't respect my son for serving our country? My dad? I'm trying to understand it. So where does that make me have privilege? So I need to take my privilege and educate them. I'm absolutely floored. Talking about community, talking about men and women, talking about being offended. In today's society, it seems like that's all that happens. People get offended. Why can't we get along? I don't know. So Jimmy, when in the 70s, what was it like then? When you went to go join? I mean, did you feel like you were going to be respected?
Yeah, it was right after the Vietnam.
Right afterwards, right? I mean, my gosh. Think about it.
I was due to get drafted. They finally withdrew.
No, Right. So it's, man, I tell you, I mean, when I was in DC, we had a tour of the Capitol, and I understand. No, I didn't live that life, but people make assumptions and ask questions. I don't know. I feel really, I talked to our friend Mike, who was on the show with us a lot, and I was reading it to him today, and he started to laugh. He said, he's almost saying that you're a racist, Kathy. I'm like, I know. Use my white privilege. I mean, he didn't say white privilege. He said just use my privilege. But, I mean, going through the Capitol, going through everything that we had to do as a country to be where we are today is just, okay, I mean, you can tell. It's got me so upset. You know, the sacrifices that all of us make. I mean, I don't care if we're in the service or we're a family member of a service member. I mean, we've all been touched by this. We've all been touched by, I mean, did you have grandparents, Jimmy, or uncles, or anybody else in the military?
Aunts and uncles. Well, actually, my oldest brothers were in the service. One in the Vietnam, doing the community.
No, right. So all of us, I guess I don't understand why somebody doesn't want to respect everybody. Or, you know, I don't get it. Sorry. Okay. On to better things. But that literally, that was like weighing on me so much today. It was just ruining my day. Not really ruining it, just giving me a bad mood. But, I actually called him racist. What did he say? He goes, don't ever question why someone does something if you can't handle or understand what's being said to you. You must really be insecure to take any of that, someone being superior, care when someone else is expressing to themselves about their community. Can't handle that. It offends you, that's just too bad. Yeah, it's just crazy. The white privilege, I don't know. Because I have so many friends in the black community, I would like to call it the human community, but I understand also. But feeling like I was called a racist today, just, I don't know, put me somewhere. Put me in a spot. But, it did. It did. Oh my gosh. I guess I'm getting mad because I'm just looking at this whole string of stuff that he sent earlier, and I just, you know, this is a person that I actually even had as a guest one time that I thought was really, I was impressed by him and very intelligent. And then just the level of bigotry towards me is what it seemed like. So I was pretty shocked. But anyway, so another F word. So that's my little freedom spiel. You know what? We have the freedom of speech. We have the freedom to have our own thoughts. We have free time. We have fun. We have family. Had to deal with a funeral. That's another F word. Got to be a part of that and see the family. But football, another F word I want to talk about. Last week was really cool. So last week, I got to be a part of bringing... Amy, have you ever heard of a certain football player named Randy Moss?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He used to play for the Patriots.
Yeah, before that, he played for the Vikings.
Right.
So...
Very good.
Yeah,
he went to Miami, too, didn't he?
He went to the Oakland.
Oh, yeah.
Went to Oakland. I don't think he went to Miami too. I can't remember. All I know is that he went to the Hall of Fame as a Viking. So that's cool. That's cool. But so I work with you
Yeah,
know,
he got a Super Bowl Patriots.
oh, I don't think he did. I think he wasn't there.
No, he was there. They broke records. Yeah.
Okay. I must have mentally blocked it.
Touchdown passes.
I must have mentally blocked that because it wasn't us, which is never. But no, here's what was so cool is Carl Lee, who is one of the Vikings 50 greatest, and another player, Venti Glenn. I've been working with them, and Randy is really good friends with Carl Lee and offered to do something to help Carl. He's got football camps, and we got Randy in last Wednesday for a signing for an hour. He literally spent 6 hours here, but it was so cool. I heard how he got to the Patriots. So the Patriots is your team then, right?
Yep.
He was with Oakland. Same difference. He was with Oakland, and I guess they were getting ready to play the Patriots. And he asked somebody to get him up to Tom Brady's room. He only needed 2 minutes of his time. And he got up to Tom Brady's room and said, I don't care whatever it is that you do, I want to play with you. And whatever it takes, that's what I want to do. I just want to let you eye to eye. Left the room, and then the next season he was on the Patriots. Just like that.
Yeah, Belichick told him stood up one.
Yep. When he said Belichick called him and he thought it wasn't him, so he hung up on him. And then Belichick called him again. He's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." But yeah, it was really cool listening to different stories. He had a really good time just watching him laugh. I've got some really good pictures I haven't posted yet because I had to deal with so many other things. But it was, oh my gosh, it was just so cool. We're going to be doing a lot of different events. You know, some of the things that's really important to me with working with the players in my company, Hall of Fame Financial, is that we provide education, additional income opportunities, second career options for the retired athletes. So a lot of these guys, like Randy came in and he made 20 grand for an hour. And I mean, he can command it. I mean, he could get a lot more, but he did that and then he split it with the guys. But a lot of these guys, when they leave the game, they don't have a game plan set up for their second lives. So like with Randy, he's on NFL Network and he's doing all these different things, but a lot of these guys are out there and just kind of going, now what am I going to do? Because I spent my whole life playing football. And so we're working on some really cool things that's going to be out there. So stay tuned. Very exciting. But who do you have going to the Super Bowl this year, Jimmy?
The Patriots.
Okay, the Patriots and who else?
I said the Rams.
Oh, the Rams.
New Orleans.
Okay, I'm kind of feeling the Vikings a little bit though. And
They tied a game with the Packers.
I know. Oh my God, that game! My son was home, and I had major F words coming out. It was absolutely crazy. In fact, he recorded it.
I kept telling him the Vikings always cheat in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. See what happens. I had the bye week, so I had a football-free weekend, which was kind of nice. And I laid around. I had friends in town.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you. What's that?
I'll buy this week. Did you? I can hear myself talking, but sometimes it makes me croak.
Yeah, I wonder if I should put my headphones in. That might help. Let's try that. Then I figured since it's just me, hold on one second. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, now I hear you way better. Okay. Now, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm so off. I'm off kilter today just from that, for lack of better term, just being color racist. But because most of my friends are athletes, when I tell them this, they're going to laugh at me and make about it. I'm just like, ugh. But yes, football, family, faith. So you've been lucky. If you're a Patriots fan, how many Super Bowls have they won? 5? 6?
Those ones we won are with Brady. So, yeah, it's been 5 Super Bowls. We never won one before.
6
First
this year.
football game I went to, they played the Rams and won their first Super Bowl. I watched it down in New Orleans.
Wow. No, I don't know what that's like. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. My first football game, and they won. They were the underdogs.
I mean, so your first football game was going to an actual Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, I went down for the Mardi Gras, figuring we'll hear it in the bar. But kid came up with tickets that were $400. They were face value. We got 2 tickets and went in.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, all the Rams were selling their tickets for some reason. I don't know why. The place was loaded with Patriots fans.
Oh my god, that's so cool. How long ago was that?
2001, when the towers went down.
Oh, wow. Now, the reason why a lot of people join the military...
2002, the Super Bowl.
Yes. In fact, you know what was it? It was Pat Tillman, who was in the NFL, joined the military.
Yes, he was in Arizona, right?
Yep. Crazy. So you know what? Now that I have you, Jimmy, because I never interview you. I want to learn about you because now you're here and you're stuck with me.
Okay.
This is my guest. So now that I can hear you with my headphone on. How long have you been doing this? And I don't know if people know this, but Armed Radio, wasn't that put together like for the military?
No, that was Armed Forces Radio.
Armed Forces Radio, okay.
The reason why they come up with Armed Radio is because they were playing Armed Tanks, a game, and when they all got together, that's when they decided to do like a radio show, and they says we're going to call it Armed Radio.
Okay. So how'd you get started with this?
Joe did it for about a year before I joined, and I started producing shows, and I've been doing it since 2014.
Wow.
But almost 2 years. 5 years.
Seriously, yeah, it has been. That's crazy.
In February.
What else do you do?
What else do I do? I work for a guy part-time with doing construction. Actually, renovations and shit.
What do you build and renovate?
Decks, rooms, add-ons.
You do that with Joe?
No, I used to do construction with Joe, but he retired, but now he's back on. He went back to work. I didn't ask to come back on.
Okay. Let's see, how many hours are you doing the producing?
The producing I do for nothing. It's got to be over 40 hours.
What? You do this for nothing? You put up with me?
Absolutely. Joe's paying money to keep the radio going. He doesn't make any money. We don't get any commercials.
Well, I want to.
Anyway.
Since I've had so many health issues this year, but I know I talked to Joe about getting some monetary opportunities coming in because I know people will, if we can get the right demographics, okay?
Yeah.
We can hone in because I know that this is in like 66 countries, right?
Yeah, it does. It goes out on High Hot Radio to 66 countries.
Hi, everybody. We could really hone in on getting, because I have a lot of people that ask me, People want to get their own radio shows. They want to pay, they want to do advertisements, but they need to have it like, let's say I have a car dealership, and I literally was just talking to somebody last week. I have a car dealership that wants to do an ad. Could he do that for the Minnesota area?
Yeah, but it's going out around the world, and how many people are going to buy cars from Minnesota?
No, okay. Well, that's what I wondered.
Like a .com business.
So
that way there they can ship it anywhere in the world.
That'll be like, I bet you Amazon will do that pretty soon. Don't you think?
Yeah, something like that.
With cars? Well, then I wonder what you could do worldwide that would be whatever. So definitely a car dealership. Then so not anybody that's local, but something international like gold and silver.
Yeah, there's all kinds of commodities that, like I said, as long as you got a FedEx or, USPS coming to your house to pick it up, then it's good.
Okay, so all of my friends out there, you know who you are, you three. No, I was kidding. Let's think about this. Let's put our heads together, because I know of some really great opportunities that would help Armed Radio make money. So you're not doing it for free. 40 hours? No. I refuse.
I do it more as a hobby. And plus we get a show out of it.
Yes, you do. I want to hear a little bit, because I have listened. Pot Talk?
You know it's nasty. Pot Talk, yeah.
Tell me what it's about.
POT stands for politically offensive talk. So
I love it.
We do talk politics, and people usually don't agree with us.
I love that. No, that's great. See, and I try not to do that, just to keep it out, because I'm in financial services, so best for me not to.
Right.
But are you smoking some too while you're doing it?
Smoking pot? Absolutely.
Yes! I thought I saw one. Did I really see that?
That's another reason why we call the Pot Talk.
That's beautiful. See, that's what you need. So you gotta have somebody that you can sit there, do that with, laugh, and be as offensive as you want to be.
Right.
That's perfect. See, and I usually am. But I have to be good most of the time. I actually remember that one time I had somebody say you had to take it off because we couldn't talk about what we were talking about. It was it was an insurance carrier, and they were mad. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't do anything really that bad, but okay. Fine.
But they didn't want to be associated?
Yeah, they didn't want their name brought up. I'm like, wow. That is awful. Oh, I felt really bad. But I understand too, because if they want sponsors or whatever, or they want to be a sponsor, they can't. Somebody's saying the F word, but we can say the F word if we want to.
Right, we're internet radio.
Okay, so
We're not regulated by the FCC.
love that. So it's kind of like Howard Stern when he went to Sirius, right?
That's it. I even put your shows on explicit sometimes because I've heard you swear. And so if you're not going to swear, I won't put it on.
Well, fuck that. There, I just swore.
Explicit tonight.
I do it. It all depends on my guest. That's what it really is. It's like how I'm going to talk.
Sometimes they slip.
Yeah, and they slip. I've got some people that it just comes out naturally. You just don't even think about it. But
same here. I swear a lot, and half the time I don't even know I'm swearing.
Right?
People are looking at me with their eyes wide open. It's like, what?
I know. I always do it at work. And I go, fuck up. What the fuck? What's wrong with you? What the fuck? What the fuck? Not when I'm on the phone.
What the fuck?
The fuck? When the Vikings tied the Packers. See, I'm just gonna say it tonight. My son, I was standing We were getting ready to kick that field goal. If we would have hit it, we wouldn't. We wouldn't have had the tie. And I'm standing behind the recliner. I'm standing up. I'm kind of just bent over, and I'm looking. I looked at our kicker though, and I'm like, motherfucker. My kid's there, right? I'm like, motherfucker. He's gonna miss it because look at it. He's thinking of the other ones that he missed. He better prove me wrong. And literally, boom, misses it. It recorded me because I'm like, motherfucker. I just went off. And of course he sends it, he videotapes it, sends it to my other two kids. Because that's me. But yes, I am a walking F word. Folks, it's real. It really is, it's real. And
I started cigarettes at 10, and I think I started swearing at 10. But whenever I walked into my house, my mother and father's house, I never wanted a cigarette, and I never swore.
You were 10?
Yeah, my brother was living there. He had like a little cash register full of change. Cigarettes were 28 cents a pack. I used to steal a quarter and 3 pennies every day. Then he got married, and I was out in the street looking for people throwing butts out of their car.
Oh my God. I remember sneaking cigarettes when I was little. Remember they were in the machines?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, you could get them out, and we were able to like shake the machines to get free ones out too.
Yeah, them things never worked.
That life was easy then. That was so easy.
I quit smoking when I got to 50 cents a pack, $1 a pack, $5 a pack.
So now you just
quit.
No, you never did, or you did?
I didn't.
You didn't. I did.
Wow, but then I picked it back up again.
What kind do you smoke?
Menthols.
Now, ooh, okay. When I used to smoke, I smoked Marlboro Ultralight 100s.
Well, the first ones I smoked at 10 were Terratin, because they were on a commercial on TV when they used to have cigarette commercials. That's the reason why I bought them. Charcoal filter.
Charcoal filter. I remember the Moore cigarettes too. They were long brown ones.
Yep, I remember them.
Or Virginia Slims.
Slims, that was the first one designed for women.
Uh-huh. I worked for a company that did all the fulfillment for all of the different companies, like Camel. So like when you get Camel Cash, Marlboro Points.
Oh, the promotions, yep.
Yes. So I remember I would get all that shit for free. Come home with, Camel pool cues, Camel jackets, Marlboro leather coats. Because that was something to be like that was super cool. Look at all these cigarettes I smoked to get this jacket.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was back when I smoked too. I think, you know what? I haven't smoked for 9 years.
Really?
How
did you quit?
I got hypnotized.
Yeah, but that only lasted a couple days.
It's lasted 9 years.
By one hypnotism?
Yeah.
Yeah, because usually it only lasts a couple of days after. I couldn't. Somebody lights up a cigarette, I want one.
No, so here's what was so weird about it, though. I think you have to be in the right mindset because I got a really bad cough, and it was like, God, I couldn't get rid of it. And it was like, well, duh, quit smoking. And I'm like, well, I can't. It's like, well, yeah. And so I actually went and got hypnotized and said, this is my last cigarette. I walked out and said, I'm a non-smoker. And I didn't smoke ever again. And I even went on vacation. My girlfriends who smoked, I held their cigarettes for them, and I was never even tempted to take a drag. Ever. So I think it was just, I literally put it in my head the right way or something. But I remember, like, part of the hypnosis, it was just something about the tobacco leaves and bat droppings or something that I think just made me go, nope, don't need that. Might have been that or bugs or spiders or something about that in the tobacco leaves. They put it in my head. So and that was all subconsciously because I was asleep. That was pretty bizarre. I feel better, but then of course I started smoking. Yeah, but you know what? I'll smoke pot. It doesn't make me want cigarettes either.
Yeah, that doesn't give you a bad cough.
Oh, it does.
Smoking is the paper and not the pot.
So right, because I'm not a good smoker. So if I draw off of it a little bit, I mean I cough really hard.
Oh, you do? What do you
I
have,
do.
asthma or something?
You know, I think I do a little bit. Pot induced.
No, I got a good set of lungs. I can still scream.
Do you ever have edibles?
Yeah, they gave me a headache.
You know, I did.
Gummy bears or whatever. They're like that. And I kept eating them because I wasn't getting off. And then when I did get off, I got a fucking headache.
Well, that's the problem. Is like you get it, and then because you don't know when it's going to hit you, so you keep having it, and then all of a sudden it's too much.
Yeah, I never get a headache from smoking too much pot.
Oh my
I
god!
used to throw an ounce in a hookah, and there'd be like 5 of us smoking on it.
Oh really? I've never done that in a hookah. Funny. I'm coming out. I'm coming hang out there.
When it burns and it just goes up.
What's that?
You burn it in the hookah, with a lot of the smoke it burns off without any.
Oh, that wastes it. Yeah, then that's a waste.
It is a waste. I thought the best thing we got was a face mask.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
Oh, because you're sucking it in through your nose instead of your mouth.
Oh, hysterical. God, and then you're looking at each other, laughing at that.
Well, we went to found an old building that was abandoned, and we went in there. It was all World War II surplus shit, and we found a face mask with the rubber hose that was attached to it, but we cut it off and attached it to a bowl.
That's hysterical. Jimmy, I can't even stand it. Oh my god. And you just sat there. Oh my god, it's hysterical. I went,
like I said, it was a whole different feeling when it went in through the nose, and you just, and you come out and there's smoke everywhere.
So, I mean, it's kind of like, it's oxygen.
Yeah.
When you get an oxygen mask on. Oh my god. So, is it legal there?
Not in New Hampshire. Mass it is.
Okay. Because, I went to go
30
visit.
miles north of Boston, but we're in New Hampshire. We're on the border.
Okay. In Boston, there's a liquor store called Bunghole Liquors.
Oh, yeah. It's in Peabody.
Is it puberty? Did you say puberty?
Peabody. I'm the second person that keeps thinking I'm saying puberty when I say Peabody.
Well, Bunghole Liquors and puberty is pretty funny to. No. Oh my god. No, I laughed so hard when I saw that. I always wanted. So you know where it is. You got to get me a T-shirt or something there.
I don't even know if they do. We used to, because we went boating in the ocean, and we'd go through Peabody to get to the ocean, and I would always go by. But sometimes we stopped and got alcohol.
Peabody, not puberty. Peabody. Oh my gosh.
The guy from Missouri said we had a class up here in New England, but they were from all over, from Canada, Mexico, and we're all having a problem understanding each other.
Uh-huh.
Like I said, when I said Peabody, they're looking at the sign, and I goes, yeah, let's go. Somebody says, oh, that's Peabody. He goes, no, up here they call it Peabody.
No, it does sound like puberty. I'm not gonna lie.
He says, what are you talking, puberty?
Puberty? Oh my god, that's so cute. So this one time I went to Colorado. One of my best friends lives there, and her daughter was getting married, and I got to the airport like super early, like 6 in the morning, and just decided to drink till 10 in the morning when her son and daughter-in-law got there. And so, of course, I'm drunk. 10 o'clock in the morning. Have to go to the Bud Depot. I'm like in Wonka land. Buy all these candy bars, truffles. This has weed in it? Yeah. And this? Yes. And you can eat this? It was kind of like you can even eat the dishes.
Oh yeah. See, I didn't like the edibles. I did like eating hash. That was one hell of a high.
Well, so now that I haven't done. We
I
used
was
to
right
do.
up Beneath and it was chewy. It was almost like you're chewing gum. But then it would dissolve in your mouth, and like I said, about an hour later, it hit you. It hit you hard.
So, well, I bought this. I called it my Wonka bar. You know, I had the golden tickets. This is a big chocolate bar, and I go and get my friend's Jeep, and I opened it up, and I immediately took a corner off of it. You know, they have it. It's all, you know, just like a regular candy bar, and I ate a corner of it. And Tammy gets in the car and she goes, "Kathy, oh, before you eat that, make sure you take just a really little tiny bit because it'll probably hit you really hard, especially at the elevation." Because we were up by Estes Park. I go, "Well, how much is a little bit?" He goes, "How much do you have?" And she's like, "Oh, no, that's too much." so then it's the driving up the mountain. All of a sudden I'm like,
20 miles an hour.
yes. Because and then I was like, uh-oh, I can't talk to people. And it was her daughter's wedding, and then we had to stop at a bar, and I still couldn't talk to people. Horrible. And then we got
paranoid when I smoked and go in public. I wouldn't talk to the public.
I know, right? Sit there, and I'll get to where I can't even form a sentence. I did former NFL quarterback who played for the Vikings. Oh, you know what? I'm going to tell my mom not to listen to this show. Anyway, so he said, "Kathy, do you smoke pot very much?" I said, "Well, no, not really." He goes, "Well, just take one hit of this." And I did, but I coughed right away, so then I took another one. I could only mumble. Nothing would come out. He's like, "I told you. Don't." He's like, "Don't do it." And we went out on a boat on Lake Minnetonka, and he was pretty famous for being one of those that was on Lake Minnetonka when they had the famous Love Boat deal. And they had all the strippers, and they called it International Waters, thinking they would get in trouble. But it was his first time back out on Lake Minnetonka afterwards, and I couldn't even.
They have international waters in
Minnesota.
Really?
No, they don't. It's just a big lake, a whole bunch of them. But I sat there, and the poor guy, he didn't know anybody, and I couldn't get up. I was like sitting pretty much fetal position. Oh, you did this to me. I had to take more than one hit. So I couldn't even.
I can
the
imagine.
whole boat ride.
Good.
And I'm usually very, very sociable, and that ride, we're out there for a couple hours, and I'm just like, nope, not looking at anybody. I would only mumble to him to get me another beer. But there is such a thing as too high, I think.
On pot, never. There's no way you can overdose. You get paranoid. So that's how I used to get in the beginning. Now it doesn't faze me at all.
So,
And usually don't talk to the public unless they talk to me.
so when you're doing the show, and that's you're just doing that during the show, just talking about whatever the hell you want to talk about. And
Yeah, we don't do much preparation, that's for sure.
that's half the fun of it.
Yeah.
And I was prepared for tonight, and then I got mad at this guy. I was like, oh my god. So
prepare is like clips. That's about it.
What's that?
Audio clips.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of politics.
Yep.
I gotta make a drink.
What are you having?
Vodka and V8 berry blend.
Berry blend. I haven't had that. I like vodka tonics. I had one of those earlier. Right now I'm drinking coffee to try to... So when you're doing that, though, you ever... So you don't have people call in, do you?
Yes.
Oh, because you're doing it on the podcast or on the video. I need to learn how to do that. Definitely need to do. So I'm definitely not going to have my mom listen to me talk about pot. Even though, actually, you know what? She wants some because she's got cancer. Thinks it'll help her. Think it'll help my Lyme disease?
You know, they never connected cancer with marijuana. You think they would blame the paper or something?
No, but they say cancer is helped by marijuana, like for the pain.
Well, for the patients. No, well, what they do is the chemo. The pain stops you from eating.
Yeah.
If you smoke the pot, you get an appetite. They have special pot that gives you an appetite. So that people say they munched out.
That's right, you get the munchies.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they do better, because they're putting on weight and they're fighting it.
I want the pot that you don't get the munchies with. That makes you...
I have that too.
Okay, well, explain this. So there's they call it indica and stevia, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, there's all these different blends. So one of them, indica, they say is like Indicouch. That's the one that makes you just kind of, the whole body.
Yeah.
Hydro.
You vegetate.
Yes, where you can't. That's like the typical. That must be what I always get hold of, because then I can't talk. And then the stevia or sativa, get that mixed up. Sativa, I guess, is one that is more of a brain high, but you can makes you a little bit more creative.
It makes you focus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I need.
The reason why, and the main reason why I've been smoking since 15 is I got like ADHD and I'm constantly distracted. And if I smoke pot, I can focus. I smoke it when I work. I smoke it while I'm doing the shows.
Get out of here.
No, it's what makes me focus. Otherwise, everything's out of whack.
Well, since I got this Lyme disease, everything's out of whack for me. So my focus is gone, so maybe that's what I should do.
Yeah, I would think so. Now you just got to be able to talk while you're doing it.
Well, I know. No, and we'll see what's so bad with the Lyme disease is I'm so forgetful.
Yep.
And I walk around and I'll be in the middle of a task and then I walk away from it, or I'll be talking to somebody and walk away from them in the middle of a sentence at work. They're going, Kathy, huh? What? I mean, so I could be high and get away with it. They wouldn't know the difference.
Problem, ADD.
Maybe I do, because I've always been kind of like squirrel. Look at that leaf.
Right.
Yeah, there's a spider.
It usually happens like later in life. Like I've had bipolar since I was 15. They said, but you can feel it. Like I said, the older I got, the more anxious and more anxiety I got.
That's kind of what's going on with me. But I keep being told it's my Lyme disease.
I
it
would
could be everything.
Like I said, ADD, ADHD, and bipolar. I got all three with PTSD from going to jail.
What? No, what did you go to jail for?
Manslaughter.
What? What happened?
I pushed a woman and she died of an aneurysm.
Oh, no. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. This was my girlfriend.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, I ended up pleading guilty to manslaughter because I pushed her. You know what I mean? There's no way I was getting out of it. But if I went to trial, that would have given me 18 to 20. I pleaded to 10 to 20.
Oh, my gosh. That had to be hard to deal with.
Yeah, well, like I said, she died of an aneurysm. I found out later, about 8 weeks before this happened, somebody took her head and smashed it up against a closet frame, door frame.
What? It wasn't even from you.
No, but I triggered it.
Oh, man. How old was she?
She was like 20-something years older than me. At the time, I was 26, so she was almost in her 50s.
She was a cougar.
Yeah, I met her at 19.
Dang. Wow.
She's married I went to school with her daughter.
She was a little Mrs. Robinson-like.
Yeah, there was a big thing going on with that.
Oh, wow. That's hard, though. You had to go there, and then you had to have that weighing on you like that. Sorry.
No problem. Like I said, that's where I get my PTSD. I don't observe anything around me because I just learn not to even look. So
all the things that were going on, I'm sure.
Like I said, I'm just looking the other way.
Wow. The things, what, people just take things for granted. They just think, everything's so easy for everybody, right?
Right.
You don't know people unless you actually ask.
I said we've seen a couple of people in jail get stabbed right in the lunch line. You know what I mean? Guy ran over, stabbed them, ran away. And they, you know how storefronts have them metal grates that come down?
Yeah.
Well, that's what they did. They pushed that down, no food. The guards came in, took the two kids, one that stabbed them, the other one that got stabbed, pulled them out, and then they opened up the gate and let everybody go back into eating again. It was like nothing ever happened.
Like they didn't matter.
Yep. Nobody looked around, nobody talked about it, nothing.
Wow. That is one
It's
major...
a whole different world in there.
That's an F word that nobody wants to visit. Fed prison, right?
No, this was state prison.
State prison?
Yeah, Fed prisons are a joke. They're like, all of them are like minimums.
Are they? See, I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I was in Walpole. That's a maximum.
Well, I adore you anyway. You didn't.
I
It was
know.
an accident. You didn't do it on purpose.
I feel anxious again.
Aww. Don't. Jimmy, thank you for staying with me this hour.
All right, yeah, it's time to go.
It is time, and thank you for letting me have my little hypervent, because I don't like somebody thinking or acting like I'm racist. I don't like that at all. All right, love. We'll talk to you next week.
You take care.
Save some weed for me when I come and visit.